All right. Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to another episode of Two Drink Minimum. I'm Larry
Woo!
Davies from the West Coast. This is Chan Man from NYC. Welcome back. We appreciate all your comments and all the things you've said so far, and we look forward to even more interactions with you out there in YouTube land.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Larry, I have something to talk about.
Oh, really? You got something on your mind? What's going on?
I think I want to talk about us. The beginning when we were thinking about getting this done and setting it up, and the process in everything. Just for instance, the beginning. The first thing we had to think about was, if we had Wi-Fi, if our computers,
if
had
we
a
could
camera,
do it off a laptop,
or you could even do it off a phone.
Yeah.
We could do it off a phone, but we had to line that up. We had to make sure that we had the lighting, because certain lighting is not good enough. You would look dark. You could look too blown out.
Yeah.
And just for the record, I want everyone to know that from 1996 to almost 2010, I was a camera and sound engineer.
Yeah.
I worked, I worked at NBC. I did Access Hollywood. I worked for CNN. I worked for Fox News. I worked for NFL Network. So I did a lot of this, and I wanted to make sure we looked and sounded professional, even though we might not say professional things, but I wanted us to make sure that we looked and sounded professional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then, after we made sure that we had, the sound and the cameras worked together and everything looked good, we still had to figure out what platform, because we couldn't. I don't think were we able to do it if we just used YouTube, the two locations.
No. Well, it would have been a lot harder to figure out.
It would have been harder.
And
right?
in the beginning, I mean, you've had experience in production, a lot of experience. I've had a lot of experience as an actor, and then doing that web series, I gained a lot of experience. But starting this was just, I think none of us knew anything. Like, it would have been a lot easier if we were in the same place together.
Oh,
but we're not.
Totally
we're 3,000 miles apart from each other, and three different time zones.
That made it a little more difficult. But that also, I feel, makes it more interesting.
I do too. I do too.
Two perspectives from two different locations. You can tell me what's on your mind, what's on my mind. But okay, so then, what was it? I wrote down some of the platforms from the two location platforms. From two locations, the platform for streaming live. There was StreamYard. There was Restream Studio, and then there was Riverside. So I just picked the first one because it looked pretty reputable. Reputable, is that a word?
Reputable. You left out a syllable.
There you go. So I think I think once we did a practice run, everything.
Well, we did several. To be honest, we did 3 or 4 practice runs.
Well, yeah. But that made it fun, that's exciting,
And every one had a little something different to it.
Right. Well, we definitely had to do, work through the hiccups where things were too light, too blown out, the sound, all that type of stuff. And I'm sure, things can get better, but I'm glad it's from this point going forward, because I think we look and sound pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
And we've been getting, the analytics so far have been pretty good. So, I posted the first episode The analytics coming back for that are pretty solid. I've done some short videos to kind of promote it on my own, and those are doing well. So yeah, I think we're on our way. I think we have a strong foundation under us, and we're just going to slowly build an audience. And people out there, we want to interact with you. You know, as soon as more people come in, we can invite you on to this platform, and you know, especially if you have something interesting to share or a life experience, you know, we welcome that. We want to connect with you out there in YouTube world.
Right. The thing the most an important thing I wanted to make sure everyone understands is that anyone can do this, or you can take the leap of faith. I mean, we did it,
Yeah.
and it's something that I
Yeah.
think it's the future with entertainment and communication and everything. You know, you're gonna, you
Yeah.
know,
It's
you
not
can talk
going
about your
anywhere.
book.
It's
You can
not
talk
going
about
anywhere.
what happened.
I said it's not
What'd you
going
say?
anywhere. I said it's
Right,
not going anywhere.
right. So I mean, you know, what we could talk about the Knicks. We could talk about my Washington Commanders. Oh,
Well,
I hate saying
we
Commanders.
don't want to bore people. Let's talk about world champion Seattle Seahawks.
Well,
We want to talk about something. Let's talk about champions. Oh, and
you know
by the
how
way,
hard it
can I
is to
interject
repeat?
one thing? Can I just say one thing,
Let's
and
hear
then we'll
it.
get back to your topic. You know, the NFL schedule came out last week, and everything with the NFL is an event now. The draft is a huge event. The schedule is a huge event. All this and that. You know, all the coverage that the Rams got. The Rams are in prime time more than any other team next year. Everybody's hyping the Rams. The Rams suck. There is nothing good about the Rams.
Well, the Rams made the playoffs.
Yeah, big deal, and they got beat by us, and we
Right.
beat them.
You beat them, but it was a close game. No,
Well, okay. Do
I'm
you
just saying
get
it was a close
do you
game.
get a ribbon for being close? I mean, do you want a certificate for that? You
I mean,
lost.
I mean, do you think you guys can repeat? I mean, without
Yes.
a running back, didn't you
Yes.
lose your running back?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Next man up.
Next man up. I like that. That's a Pete Carroll saying, right?
Well, it's an NFL saying, but
What?
yeah. Pete.
So to get back to the production thing, the production of 2 drink minimum. I'm glad that we started this. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I am too.
it's
This
the
has been a
way.
dream for a while to do
Yeah.
this.
I mean, I see, you know, we see a lot of different people getting on, and they're interesting. There's interesting stuff, and there's stuff that's not so interesting. So I'm hoping that our show evolves to a very interesting or more interesting. Is that good
More,
English?
it's more interesting. We want to be more
Yes. We
interesting
want more interesting.
because we're already interesting. I mean, we're not killing people with
Right.
boredom.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the hardest, like we're writing a book. People have asked me, well, how do you write a book? Well, first of all, everybody thinks it's easy until they try it. And then what's the hardest thing about writing a book is picking up the pen.
Right.
Like
Right.
you've said, what's the hardest weight in the gym? The front door.
The front door to the gym. Getting it going. So,
You know?
so you listen, going back to the production thing, you put your headphones on, you listen, you make sure there's no humming, no feedback. And then for the lighting, you have to make sure there's no shadows. So
Right.
you use something like this where the light hits your hand and you could see you could see everything without shadows. So
Yeah.
that means your lighting is good.
Yeah.
And so forth. But that's all I have to say. That's
And
all I want to say about that. I just want everyone to take the lead, chance
well,
it.
well, and to tag on to what you just said, that was after I did the craft, and I was going to do my next thing because when I started my channel, I really wanted it to be a channel like multiple different types of programming on it. That was my thing is I needed a full production crew to come in and do all this stuff because that was my background. Well, with the technology now, and because this is so prevalent in our culture now, we have a platform like StreamYard that takes care of a lot of that stuff now.
Right.
You know, you just get a light, maybe a microphone if you need it, and you're rolling, you're going. You don't need
Right.
four guys standing around at craft services snacking away all your money. You just need to turn on your computer, turn on your light, turn on the mic, and you're rolling. They make it really easy to join this arena now. Is what I'm
Right.
saying.
And by no means are we married to StreamYard. I mean, there are so many that
Right.
we just didn't get to. There's
Right.
there's OBS, there's Restream and all that stuff.
But so
anyway,
far they've been easy to use.
right.
We're figuring out all the bells and whistles, but it's been easy to use, and it got us on YouTube.
Exactly. And if it was just one or the other, we don't even need this platform. You could just use the YouTube.
We could just use the YouTube, but this way we can kind of, like you were saying, making sure the lighting's right, making sure, if I go off script and say something you don't want me to say, we can go back and cut it out, all that stuff.
That's right. Big Brother's watching. Okay.
Well, no, I think we agreed that, there's some things in our lives that are just private and we just leave it private.
Yeah. Unless, of course, we're paid enough money, we will say whatever, whatever we need to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the main thing is to try and to get out of the comfort zone and
and that's overall, that's the big thing. I know I talked about in the first episode, you kind of talked about it in the last episode, is if you have a fire inside of you and you want to write that book, you want to make music or, do a podcast, there's going to be a fair amount of stuff that's going to come against you to try to talk you out of it.
Sure.
And it's just getting through that noise, if you will, and doing it. I think only failure is when you don't do it.
Exactly.
If you try something and it doesn't work out, great, try it again. The only real failure is when you decide not to do it and not to do it.
That's what they say. They say a lot of when people get very old and they talk to them about regret. It's not what they did. It's what they didn't do.
Yeah.
So
and sometimes that list is pretty long.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people regret a lot of things they didn't do or didn't try. So, if you attack life like that, you're going to live to be a happier person. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to make sure that that people understand that this was not in our comfort zone. Okay.
No.
Comfort zone is, everyone staring at their phone or not staring, we're watching TV or watching a game and just not, doing something that they're used to doing. This is,
this is a little scary. Both of us are putting ourselves out there to the whole wide world. I mean, not just in our local communities, to the whole world.
Right. Well, you're used to putting yourself out there on the dark web, aren't you? No, that's not
true. Under a different name, though.
Right. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about, and I'm hoping that when people listen to this, they realize you can do it. Okay.
Well, and I'm going to extend
something else.
I'm going to extend this challenge. If you're out there listening to this podcast, webcast, and you've watched the whole thing, you've watched all 15 minutes of it, and you're saying, Chan, man, there's something I want to do. Leave it. Tell us in the comments. We'll try, and we'll talk about it the next episode and try to encourage you to do that. Whatever it is, maybe I want to run a marathon. I'm 30 pounds overweight, but I want to run a marathon. Well, there's ways to do that.
Hey, you chip away. Okay. You don't do the marathon right away. Okay. And listen, you haven't walked or you haven't ran, you go for a walk. and then you try to do it for time. You try to run for 5 minutes, run for 10,
and
do 10 minutes
just
for a week.
slowly increase your time.
Right. And impossible is nothing. Okay.
Everything's
So,
possible now. Everything's completely possible.
right.
So, and that's what we want you to take away from this one today. Let us know what you want to do. Let us know what you're dreaming to do, and we'll have you on the show. We'll try and encourage you. We'll support you. We'll keep track of your progress, and all of that, because the 2026 is almost half over. This is Memorial Day weekend, right?
Crazy
June
shit,
is
huh?
right around the corner. We're
Crazy
almost half
stuff.
done with this year. It's time to do. It's not. We don't need to live life anymore. It's time we have life live how we want to do it. So let's all do that. I'd appreciate support. I'd appreciate support for this podcast. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Also follow me on Instagram, and if you can, check out my books. It means so much to an independent author every time someone buys a book. And the feedback's always, I don't even care about the feedback. It can be positive, negative, I don't care. Just read the book. There you go, right there. Now if I can get Chan Man to crack open a book, would be great. But that's it for us. We'll see you next week. We'll talk. Have a great weekend.
Remember, whatever you guys send us, we will definitely address it. We'll talk about it. We look forward to everything. Okay? We do. We want to talk about it.
We're very responsive. All right. Have a great weekend.
Good job, everyone. Woo!